The movie I'm roasting today is so terribly awful, so disgustingly painful, that both directors had to go through radical surgery to physically alter their appearance and their identities altogether as to not be confused with the people who made this film ever again. I'm of course referring to Jupiter Ascending. I should note that this roast, like all roasts, come from Patreon and YouTube join supporters. This one, produced by Chaos, merely known as Chaos. Thank you very much for the support. He's an Unobtainium member, which is the tier you have to hit. That's the threshold in order to request one of these horrible movies for me to roast. Because not only do I have to spend the hours to watch them, I also have to talk about them and edit this thing and find clips of this miserable... It's so much pain and anguish to sit through this. You have no idea how much I fear, how much I dread having to roast. But now that we're here, let's begin. The opening is narrated by Meg Griffin. She informs us that her father, Maximilian, was shot and killed during a home robbery. I mean, if you got the name Maximilian, you should probably lock up a little better. That name just screams, rob me. Fortunately, right before he died, he was able to convince his dumb wife that the name Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, would be a fitting name for a small girl. Wouldn't you love to be called Jupiter as a child? The fattest planet in the solar system? That's nice. That's a great thing. Thanks, Dad. To be fair, I tried to convince my wife to name our son Uranus, but that didn't fly. And ironically, the kid's a little shit, so it would have worked out perfect. Little Jupiter, safe and sound in the comfort of her mother's womb, is whisked away as an illegal alien away from their country of origin, where she is born anew. They left the country for a better life, where she could grow up cleaning toilets. Every girl's dream.
Total bullshit.
We now jump to a new planet with what looks to be the rejected cast of Twilight. A trouple of siblings are having a conversation of sorts. It's hard to really say what they're doing because they all talk like dipshits, especially Eddie Redmayne, who is positively terrible in this, in the best way possible. He's so high and low, constantly he's at a whisper at some points. I can't understand what he's saying. And then he gets really extreme. And then back to these little whispers. He's like Voldemort on crack. And he's just as oily as Voldemort himself, just gross looking skin. I don't know, guy needs some Proactive or something. Is Proactive still a thing? I remember that was a thing when the cheerleader show was on, Heroes. I'm young and in touch. Let's keep going. Speaking of Twilight, we have our first big action scene where we're treated to a few hunters taking on our hero of the film, Channing Tatum. He goes by the name Kane. We'll find out he's a splice, a human-dog hybrid. He looks more like a human cat, though, with the ears and the slitty eyes, but he's supposed to be Kane, Canine. You see what they did? This naming is brought to you by the same two that made Switch and Mouse a thing inside of the Matrix, because they're a mouse, Switch, they're computer tools. You get it. It's on the nose. He showcases his immense skill by smashing through a door and shooting absolutely nothing in sight. He shoots a lot of times, but he's not hitting a single thing. He has a cool shield, though. Wrong. Have I hit anything yet? Nope, not hit anything? Okay, see you later. He takes flight, grinding from building to building using Sonic the Hedgehog's shoes. Gotta go fast indeed. A barf of early 2000s wallpapers I used to download on my computer hits the screen. A ship drops down, carrying Eddie Redmayne's head floating atop the longest neck I've ever seen in my life. This is ADD the movie. It's jumping all over the place so fast, you can't make heads or tails of what's going on. These conversations are so convoluted and often told through whispers with weird words that we don't understand because they're all part of this larger world-building shit.
Jupiter, help, please.
Oh, hang on now. You have my attention. Jupiter's having a conversation with one of her friends who's only in her bra and underwear. And suddenly, this movie got a lot more entertaining. And by a lot more, I mean it went from 0 to a little bit. And some aliens show up. They flip over Jupiter's friend, presumably to probe her. I know I would. But it's short-lived as Jupiter's phone goes off and ruins the whole party. We get a little info about Mila Kunis' boring family and how she's saving up to buy a telescope because her papa had a telescope and she wants to have one as well or something. I don't fucking know. Who cares? Jupiter heads to the hospital for what I thought was going to be a routine colonoscopy until the aliens show back up, strap her down, flip her on her stomach, and now it's the only way I can achieve climax. Best colonoscopy ever. Oh, but stupid Channing Tatum comes in, busting up shop, and ruins another party. He presumably saved her from death, and also that of a lucrative career in OnlyFans. Tatum's gonna take some time now for exposition, explains to Mila Kunis that he's Kane wise. Of course he is. He's a half-wolf, half-human hybrid. A splice. Trained by the military to be a killing machine and look like a fucking idiot. Back on whatever planet he's from, Abrasax is pissed that they didn't kill Jupiter. Lizard Man from one of the Soul Calibur games I played on the Dreamcast gets yelled at. Got him, young. We have a big action scene firing up. I'm not sure how long it lasts, but if I could ballpark it based on feel, I would say 18 hours. Shit is blowing up everywhere. Buildings ripping apart, planes crashing, people dying probably, who cares? Mila Kunis is hanging on for dear life to Kane's arm, who's whipping through the sky going like 500 miles an hour. I don't know how nothing's getting dislocated or broken, but Jupiter does find some time to ask a potent question. Hey, why does no one else see this happening? At which Kane replies, oh, we have like Men in Black technology. We can just, brain wipe people. It's no big deal. Brain wiping magic, done. Jupiter and RuPaul's Drag Race go on a road trip together. Kane's gonna make a pit stop by an old friend's house. Hey, it's Sean Bean. More like Sean Bees, because he's got bees everywhere here. This guy went all in on bees. What the hell? Kane and him decide to tussle a little bit like schoolboys fighting in the yard. He gives him a good old-fashioned bee down. We're doing it. The bees, much like me, have taken a liking to Jupiter. We are informed that she's actually royalty. That's right, Kelso's girl from that 70s show grew up to be a queen. And she's the ruler of Earth or something. Honestly, I don't know. I think she's the ruler of Earth. I think she owns it in some capacity. Uh-oh, Kano and the other bounty hunters show up for a good old-fashioned farm fight. They blow Sean Bean away. They blow him away. This whole sequence is absolutely bonkers. People are just warping in left and right. Kunis is running around like a chicken with her head cut off, flailing. People are dropping out of the sky like it's the first time playing Fortnite, kind of confused, looking around. But they finally got her. They abduct Jupiter, who wakes up in a fresh new gown. That's nice. Someone changed her while she was sleeping. Someone took off her clothes and put on the dress. It's not a scene we got to see in the film, but it happened. It happened. She was violated. She's fine with it. It doesn't really seem to bother her at all. Speaking of Uranus, the best shot in the movie comes up right now, which I unfortunately can't show due to censorship. For a 2-hour film, though, there's at least 2 solid seconds in this movie. More like Jupiter ass-sending, right? Meanwhile, Tony Hawk, or should I say Tony Wolf, is kick-flipping and olling his way to his queen. And Jupiter's quite smitten by him. She's starting to fall for man's best friend. Movie's gonna take a detour for a little while into some shitty knockoff Harry Potter world. Jupiter has to go to different places since she's a queen. She's got to get a tattoo marked on her arm, get some certifications, maybe pick out a wand if she has time, see Ollivander, who knows, only if there's time. With all of her I's dotted and her T's crossed, she's able to spend a little one-on-one time with Kane, at which point she's kind of playing with him, kind of flirting with him. Really can't wait to see where... Oh, and they're interrupted by Sean Bean and his merry men. This film is nothing but interruptions 24/7. Anytime there's dialogue, there's an interruption. Anytime something of interest is going to happen, interruption. Kane is captured and put in a cage like the dog he is. Meanwhile, Jupiter is, oh, hello. We're going to get a bunch of wardrobe changes in this movie. It's basically a fashion show at this point. We have a sort of Beauty and the Beast situation playing out where Perfect Jawline is trying to convince his Belle to marry him. Well, they've known each other for 5 minutes, so seems like an appropriate time to ask. And might I just add, Jupiter, who's been abducted several times now, held against her will. She's seen that there's billions of planets out there, infinite realities, and all this stuff. She's handled it all with the utmost aplomb. In fact, she's barely batted an eye at any of this happening. Just like, oh yeah, I'm part of some magical bloodline, so I automatically inherit a planet or something. How does this work? How many people are in this formula? How did you figure this out? It's very complex. I'm sure there's a lore out there somewhere. The Watchowskis have a Bible that explains how every single part of this works. And to be fair, I do appreciate the time and effort that at least went into trying to build something new and original. It just all kind of sucked. Magic Mike is jettisoned out of the airlock. That's going to be game over for him. No, it would be game over for a mortal man, but he's a dog man. He's Kane. He's gonna figure something out. Wardrobe change number 4. Looks like Jupiter's gonna go ahead and get married to the guy that kidnapped her only hours earlier. His name is Titus, so you know he's secretly a prick. She's kind of getting cold feet though, having second thoughts, which absolutely perturbs Titus. He's like, bro, we had that special night together that one time. Don't you remember? It just happened. The Goombas from the live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie pay Jupiter's family a visit. In case she decides not to go down that aisle, they have some leverage. It's wedding time! And Jupiter's in another outfit. I love the outfits. She's got that James Dean daydream look in her eyes. She's in a stylish yet elegant flower-patterned frock. Meanwhile, Kane is joined back up with Sean Bean's character Stinger. Wait, Sean Bean's name in the film is Stinger? And he's big on bees. Are you shitting me? Oh my fucking god. Everything that Wachowski's name is 1-to-1 with their one character trait. Okay, this person likes bees. What else about them? They're bees. Really into bees. What do bees have? Honey. What else do they have? Stingers. They sting. Stinger's his name. Kane and Stinger shoot their waves through massive amounts of CGI. This looks like the aftermath of looking into one of those 3D posters that used to be popular. Kane has been a bad dog, crashing his ship right into the ceremony. I have no idea how he knew where this fucking thing was. Like, legitimately, all this ship looks like nonsense, and he was able to pinpoint the exact spot to put his ship where he could get out and stop this thing? Are you out of your mind? And so no ring is put on the finger because we have yet another interruption. Jupy finally makes it back home, only to be greeted by another set of dipshits. It was at this point I paused the movie, hoping there was only mere minutes left, and crippling realization hits me. 30 more minutes left. Oh my gods, they're on another ship already. And this one's being piloted by a goddamn elephant man. What is even happening anymore? The ship takes them to the final level of every video game ever created ever. Jupiter has a conversation with Newt Scamander in his private chambers. Chamber of Secrets, if you will. Just gonna present this with no context. How dare! Shut up, Meg. Kane's back, baby! Kane unfortunately fails to pull off a 900. Jupiter is once again flying all over the place via tractor beams. And I'm pretty sure those Watchowskis slipped in a Sentinel cameo from The Matrix. Is that a Sentinel? I don't care if it is or not. I'm counting it as an Easter egg, and it's the best thing in this movie outside of the Uranus shot earlier. Okay, I take it back. That's legitimately cool. A lizard man, decapitation, kind of. I dig it. Very, very good. Jupiter has a final confrontation with Balaam, but it's not looking good. Whole place is falling apart. I have no idea how she's going to get out of this one. Unless, of course, Kane magically finds out where she's at and conveniently is able to get to her spot while she's falling. And of course he does. Because he's Kane. He's got a nose for these things. Mila Kunis in this film does nothing but scream and look good, which might be fine for some, but I'm looking for more of a strong female lead in my movies, and it's not having it here. She's just kind of useless, and she's supposed to be this awesome queen character, but she falls and needs help more often than Kirsten Dunst in a Spider-Man film. Hell, I think Mary Jane would look at this movie and go, that's a bit excessive. And after all of this, our Belle returns back to her poor provincial life, just happy to be amongst her loved ones again. Cleaning toilets and wondering if her beast is still out there somewhere. Well, he is. She's actually going on a date with him this afternoon. The film ends, as all Watchowski movies end, on top of a skyscraper, where our two leads lovingly chat and the whole thing looks like a crappy scene from a Divergent film. Kane shows off his new wings. No longer just a dog or a man now. He's now a dog-bird man. They take to the sky, him with his fresh wings and her with her hover shoes he gave her, and they fly right into the camera, and they soar around, flying through the sky and right into our hearts. You know, I can't quite put my penis on it, but this reminds me of something I saw recently and have tried to burrow out of my brain, but alas, I can't. Oh yeah, it's the same exact ending that we got in the new Matrix movie. The Matrix Regurgitations ends the same exact way, with Neo and Trinity now both the one flying right at the camera. Kill me! Oh, these Watchowskis are hacks. I used to think so highly of them when The Matrix came out, and I love that trilogy, warts and all, but ever since then, it's been complete shit show. You know what? Never mind. I love Speed Racer. I love Speed Racer. I will defend it with my last dying breath. I don't love this movie. I don't love anything else they did. Cloud ass, Jupiter ass sending. I can't with these people anymore. And you know what? I can't with The Matrix 4. I've ranted and roasted that thing into oblivion. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, liking the video, commenting here about this pile of crap, and then checking out any of those Matrix 4 roasts that I've done, they're pretty damn good. I guess there's a review, a rant, and a full-blown roast. So I'll put that up maybe while I'm chatting right now, and you can do yourself the favor of checking it out. You could also do me a favor. Think about becoming a Patreon or YouTube Join member. It's only $1 or $5 or $10 a month, whatever you want to give, whatever you could give, if you appreciate what I'm doing here, because I appreciate you. All right, take care.